Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Sure, I'm eating a little bit of yogurt.
Why are you chewing yogurt? That's the weird part.
Well, what I do
is
7 ounces of fresh fruit.
I put a bagel in a bowl and cover it with yogurt.
That's kind of, I think that's where I'm headed out. I see myself at the home feeling good about fooling the staff who told me not to eat any more bagels, and people sneaking it into me.
All right.
No, what I have every morning, not every morning, but many mornings, I have what we have 7 ounces of fresh fruit, and then we have oh, I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. Which is what a lot of the people who come see me in the club say.
It's true. There's no evidence. You can't leave with any evidence of why you were funny.
No, but they say some of the greatest comedians of all time never got laughs from their act.
It's true, and we're never heard from again.
Oh, that was a good start. See, if it was up to me, I know that it's not.
You would just eat through the whole show and laugh.
No.
Eat and laugh. Eat and laugh.
No. I would get that. That would be like we would have a Vine podcast. That would be it, and then we'd wrap it up. And no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking without comedy, which I do a lot.
That's what some of the most famous comics did, apparently.
I always thought Bob Hope like that.
Yeah.
I know he was hilarious on the road movies.
Hilarious. Unbridled.
But I never saw him be funny in my life. Maybe a little bit. Hey, how you doing there?
He was certainly capable of being funny, but by the time he reached the NBC special part of his life, that really wasn't even the point anymore.
Well, you have to learn to like a whole bunch of things if you're gonna like that style of comedy. You know, he's too old for us. For any of our generations, even me, it's too old for my generation.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get any kind of view of him unless you really want to sit down and watch. I would watch a road movie right now. No, I wouldn't. I bet you've seen several of them.
I've seen a couple of them. It's not like I get excited when they're on, but I did sort of want to. And yeah, their chemistry was.
Who is they? Frank Sinatra?
No.
I mean, Bing Crosby?
Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, yes. It was banterific.
Oh, well, you know, it's too hard to turn around your opinion of Bob Hope at this point. And there's really no reason why we should.
No.
And there's no reason why we should go looking back. Oh, let's look at the thing. This sketch he did with the Andrews sisters was unbelievable.
Right.
And Chips Ahoy. Why is there things on my screen?
I don't know. Why do I care?
Mind it. You don't care.
I don't.
Why don't you say it that way? I think if you had put should there, that would have been good.
So did you recover over the weekend from your...
Oh, yeah. It's a weird thing with this type of a situation. You go from... I'm sure everyone's different. I go from the depths of depression to the depths of my kind of
manic sort of thing. Is what you're saying? You go from the depths to a manic sort of state.
No, I mean, while it was happening, it seemed like the most horrible, important thing that was going on in my life at that particular time. Will Andy ever be able to be funny again? Well, this won't solve that. But I was thinking that one of the reasons why I did the cameo for my brother, I made a cameo for my brother over the weekend. Is this known already?
No,
to the general public.
They know that all they know is that he hired you to do a cameo, and it sent you off the rails, and then he let you off the cameo hook.
Right.
But you're saying no, you went back and did the cameo. because you wanted,
yes.
because you wanted $35 from your brother.
I did. I said to my brother, look, 35, I would title the video $35 is $35. Because what happens is if he lets it expire, boom, it's done. I can send one free to him.
Yeah.
Right? But it doesn't give him the opportunity to say $35 plus $4 million tip. $2 million tip.
How often do you get a tip on the Cameo?
I'd say rarely. One out of 5?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be 80% better.
First of all, you cannot evaluate whether something is good or bad that you would never do in your life.
I'm really curious if tipping is really actually part of the thing, because it seems like the actual purchase itself is kind of a tip.
What do you mean? Who's tipping me?
The person. Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking, is who the fuck is tipping you?
Whoever buys the Cameo. Whoever buys the Cameo is the person. So my brother could tip.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
My performance.
That's what I'm saying is that it would be unusual to pay someone a fee for this thing and then go, you did the thing. Way to go.
No.
It's sort of. I'm saying it's a Cameo in and of itself is a sort of tip, a sort of nod of appreciation for you.
I'm worried now that my brother, who wrote down or at least asked about the podcast, is now this will be the first episode he hears.
Well.
And I did not want to dissuade him from huge tipping down the line.
Well, doesn't he give you a pretty good tip once a year? Hi, Rob.
Here's the way I look at.
Every show's about you, Rob. Every show is about you.
The way I look at my brother is the way I looked at my dad. My dad would give me, except on a bigger basis.
Right.
My dad would give me
allowance,
$100 to go get food. Like when I was older, right? $100, and say the food was going to be $93. Pick up. I pocketed the $7.
Sure.
So
amazing, Dad! It came to exactly $100.
No. He allowed me. No, this is wrong. This is not part of my stealing.
Okay.
The stealing I think anybody, as you call a crime of opportunity, I think anybody would agree with me that my mother constantly had her bag out and things all over the place, disorganized dollar bills.
She couldn't possibly know how much money's in there.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. What court would convict me of going in there, which I did several times a week. I think I did it up until.
If I don't take this, she'll just spend this money on abuse.
Okay, ask me how long that went on.
How long? Let me guess first. Till you left the house.
No, till about a week and a half before she died.
Okay.
Because she has a drawer of $50 and $20 bills and $10 bills.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be, for the stuff around the house.
Right.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do if I have to buy?
If you total it up, $180,000 you've stolen from them over there.
I laugh the laugh of someone who's not sure if it's moral what I'm doing.
It's clearly immoral. I can't absolve you for that, for just straight up stealing. No,
I straight up stole. Well, could this come back to bite me in the ass? Like
only with your brother.
No. My brother, why?
Because he's hearing about all the estate money that you embezzled.
Oh, no. But here's the way it is, though. It's my brother saying, here's $100,000, keep the change. Go out and get me a car or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a higher level of keep the change with my brother.
Really?
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
If I pick up the food, I hope he gives me, you know what? Here's $13,000 to get the food and keep the change. It's a delightful game show of a life I have.
It really is.
Yeah, but this shouldn't be the first one he listens to. I don't think.
I hope not.
He's not going to listen. I don't think he's going to listen to a 2-hour show.
If he just, the fact that he's just hearing about it now on episode 300 is kind of.
If I'd known that, I would have said.
It shows a level of disinterest that you can't ignore.
And also, he asked me in a way that
my brother already started listening and stopped. I mean, that's
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty good. How many did he get through?
I think he might have gotten into triple digits even, but that was years ago still.
But is he afraid? See, I would be afraid that he would be afraid to tell you he stopped.
No, he told me he stopped pretty much.
Oh,
but it was because he told me it was because of you, though.
I totally 100% bought that. That's why, right?
Well, he likes me.
I know, but why couldn't you have told me that my brother said, please back it off a little bit, and he would still listen? He says, the one thing I heard that drove him crazy was the repeating of a word over and over again.
Hi.
Nice. No, what did I say? Nice. I have just decided right now that I will never have done well under any circumstances on a game show, even with more knowledge that I have now. I know that my personality would be to panic.
I know. I'm just imagining it and smiling.
Well, wasn't the best one? Yes, the best one of all time was when someone had Will Durst be his phone a friend, and he got it wrong.
Yeah.
On Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's fantastic.
Would you allow yourself? Wouldn't you have told me, say, look, stupid, don't put me as your expert. Are you stupid? Who would put Will Durst as their expert? I guess he had a lot of information about stuff.
Yeah, just not that thing.
I wouldn't have gone to Will Durst because I never liked his both sides political comedy to begin with.
His what?
Both sides political comedy.
Sides, yes.
Yeah. I remember arguing with him once when he was putting together a TV show. He was putting together, some kind of show, political show, and he was arguing with me, not in a friendly way. He was going. I said, "Well, I'm a Democrat." He goes, "You're a Democrat?" He goes, "We're arguing about how could you possibly be a Democrat?"
Yeah.
When they're both. On the other hand, you got Bob Dole and his thing, right?
My first writing credit as J. Elvis Weinstein was for Will Durst on an A&E show. I was the head writer
on what show? An
A&E political wrap-up kind of show.
What show? What year was this?
1993.
That's so. I went out for the same thing. I went out for that show.
Well,
doesn't that make sense? He's casting the show.
Yeah.
It's the same time period, and it's a political show.
It might have been the they did a pilot before I came along.
Okay.
So it might have
Mine
been
was before the pilot.
It might have been that because I wasn't involved at that point.
Right. That sounds right.
Or I could take credit. Or I could take credit for going.
No. I wasn't. I wasn't
not
chosen.
Him. I know.
I wasn't. Oh, okay.
No, I know.
How would you do it again? How would you check?
No.
But what's wrong? He's fun. He made me laugh. Yeah, but he is a funny guy. He seems like a very good guy, like a guy that would be fun to hang out with. But wouldn't it be just great to have his energy in the writing room?
That's what I've found.
We've never had that. We've never strained our relationship by you being my boss over at The Funniest Thing or...
Yeah.
Why would it be? I try to come up with just an unpleasant scenario in general. We're both working for that show. Which wasn't really that unpleasant. You weren't even there.
I was there for a time, and then
No, towards the end, though,
then I made a
day
different deal for myself.
Oh, that's so good. You should still have that deal right now.
No, the one day a week was the deal I made, and then I got it down to no days a week.
When you had it down to 1 day a week, did you feel some pressure on yourself, like, I don't even want to reduce it to this little and put the pressure on myself to come up, or you were just like cranking them out? Hey,
no,
partner,
I just had
don't look in that bucket.
Well, no, I just had a certain task that I did for them each week, and it just didn't matter if I did it there or here.
And it was the same kind of okay, but I'm just saying that as you were
the showing up once a week was just for show.
Oh, to go to the office and
yeah.
And what would you do when you went there? How's it go? You
a victory lap.
Wait, was this was post Saget during what's that guy's name?
This was during my sweet cake gig was during the Tom Bergeron years.
Yeah, unbelievable. But it's still.
Let me just say, it was worth it for them. I provided them a great many.
No,
jokes.
I know that. But towards the end, did you find it harder?
Yeah, that's when I stopped.
Okay, yeah, because that's the thing. They go, Josh can knock out these things so fast. Yeah, but then after you do it and you start to, it's like if you're working on anything where you have to have a network. Well, you would never have to have people saying do it this way, right? They just would say more or less.
Yeah. Well, they got to choose from what I sent, you know. But after a while, it started taking me longer and longer to not repeat myself and not phone it in. So
well, and Bob Saget, God rest his soul, because I love him. Why was he so terrible at that show? I never listened to it really much, but it was always like really bad, like Groucho one-liners type stuff, but like dime store Groucho.
Well, it was yeah. I mean, it was just super super corny, you know. It was just filled with, you know, falsetto.
Oh no, Daddy!
Yeah,
Daddy,
falsetto
no.
animal narration, and you know, and lots of sound effects, and you know, and it was just. I mean, it was, you know, that their market was a family show, and they went for it. It was all fucking dad jokes. And
yeah,
so,
I remember
you know,
all kind of what jokes?
Dad jokes, you know. It was just, you know. And then Saget would completely divorce himself from all the jokes on the show, and yet he was the de facto head writer of it. You know, the script would literally go from
making fun of his own show.
Yeah, he would blame. You know, the writers made me. Yeah,
the writers
because you know he was trying to ride such a line of trying to, you know, maintain his comedic credibility, and in the meantime being the face of America's Funniest Home Videos and the other show,
Full House.
And Full House, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that my time with him was always spent with him being very, very funny in conversation.
Well, and I think
was.
I think he's someone who grew as a person over the years too, and probably
maybe that was.
I think he gained some comfort in his own skin. But I mean, that was massive success he was going through at the time.
I know when you think about that, when you, and I'm not making any value judgment. What did you think about? What was it like for Dave Coulier? Did the fame go to his head? But I mean, seriously, like back at that point, if you take the value judgment out of it, which you can't, but back at that point,
I can at this point. I really can.
I was like, this is the worst kind of comedy. This Full House kind of comedy. And Dave Coulier, he could make you laugh as a stand-up, but it was really like, oh, what's going on? Or something like that. So, when as a wise ass starting up, I was like, comedy is the worst. It really is terrible, pretty much terrible across the board, because it wasn't like during the Sopranos time period, or it wasn't during the, you know, it's
like the be all and end all for your stand-up career was to end up on a show like that.
A bad and mostly a terrible show.
Yeah. I mean, it was very,
and
very, very few were able to punch through and transcend the non-terribleness of it, and that was only.
Yeah, Roseanne was hilarious. I thought
Roseanne had a great run. You know, it didn't end up great, but it had a great run. For the most part, Cosby's show was good at the time. You know.
I liked the Cosby Show.
And that was the model. I mean, that was the model of taking a stand-up and making their act, you know.
Right. But now when you're out of it, even more out of it, it's like, to me, it was almost a comforting world when I could feel like, this stuff sucks. I like to make fun of it. And it just seemed like, there was Larry Sanders, or there were certain things, but
I think every big egoed comic goes into these things going, mine's going to be better, and I'm going to make sure of it. You know.
Well, Larry Sanders, I loved, of course.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about you know, there were you know, I'm saying everyone thought they could go in and make Larry Sanders at the top,
right?
You know?
Right, or something big like Platypus Man, or there were a lot of ones, like for example. The Good Guy, or John
Platypus Man was the Rich Jennings show.
Yeah, I never saw it, but
that was that's the prototype right there. Is take a guy's act,
right,
you know, and a bit from it,
I know.
And build a show around the bit.
I'm trying to think of more. Well, okay, let's go over some of them so you can like I have never laughed at the Drew Carey show for 1 second. There's nothing funny about. He has made me laugh. I think. I can't remember if he has. He was fairly funny as a stand-up.
Yeah. Well, I know you like The Price is Right.
I don't even like The Price is Right, but I didn't even watch it. But at least Bob Barker seemed like he liked his own show, right?
Bob Barker?
He liked it. Wasn't he The Price is Right guy?
I think Drew Carey likes.
All right. Well, I'm not. This is an argument that if we get into it years from now, when I'm on my deathbed, I'll go, "Why were you arguing over?"
Yeah. No, I think Drew Carey fell into something he's happy with.
Right, but it's not fun. Okay, let's look at. Okay, I'm saying, like, if you look at stuff that's polished, worked, was popular, but was dreck.
Yeah.
Okay, Home Improvement it's dreck. You wouldn't watch it. You wouldn't recommend your enemy watch it.
Right.
It's just, if you tried to watch it now, it is just totally boring. Even the one guy who's pretty good, the Tool Time other guy, he's not allowed
never
to be
liked
funny.
it. Never liked it. Never will.
And I know you told me, and I'll never forget this because you were sobbing a little bit. You said, I don't know what it is, but when the guy in the fence, which you can't quite see him, which I think you said to me, that's part of the metaphor. You said to me,
I think I said that. Yeah, I'm sure. I think in my.
You said that guy I like.
I mean, I was just quoting from my dissertation, but yeah.
That guy I like, who comes up with the advice that a 7-year-old would think an old man would think was good. Right?
Yes.
I can't. Patricia Clarkson, is that the name of the person who played his mother?
I believe it is.
And the two kids. The one kid now is, I think, more of a born again kid. Jonathan Tilson Thomas.
I don't think it's Tilson Thomas. No, it's
Michael.
That's a conductor, Michael Tilson Thomas.
That's not the guy from. I always thought he was on Starsky and Hutch. He was not on Starsky and Hutch. Yeah. Michael Tilson Thomas is a Los Angeles conductor, I think, right?
Yeah.
Here's what else I want to say as a non sequitur. I don't like Stephen Colbert. I mean, I don't enjoy him anymore. I don't watch him. But my theory used to be he should have stayed. That last show he was on was so great, he'll never be able to top it. And now I've revised it to, I would not be watching that show now. The Colbert Report.
Yeah.
I would not be watching that show. I never watched it that much when it was on. Yeah. Even though when I thought it was funny. Did you watch it every night?
No.
No. You didn't even watch The Daily Show every night.
No.
But, there's a lot of people, not your age. I think, I guess there's no age you can attach to it, who think that or they, you know what I think it is? I think they relate it sometimes to when they came of age during, and I'm not trying to be as mean as I sound, when they came of age during The Daily Show. If you came of age during that, you probably have a fond memory of that guy. He tore the pants off of everything. And he did sometimes do things that made us feel good and all that, but it wasn't as great a show, day in and day out, like other shows will last on, like Larry Sanders but now you're going to say, no, Andy, that's not true. For a certain group of people, Jon Stewart's a genius. Safely. Come on, buddy. Come on, baby. Come on.
Well, I mean, I think it's a total Larry Sanders and The Daily Show is a total apples to oranges.
I know. Can I make an argument? Let's have an argument where the things I'm arguing about make sense. They have a equal value.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't compare those two shows. But some people do think The Daily Show is the greatest show they ever saw. And you may say, no, you're wrong about that. You're just thinking that that's how they saw it.
No, I mean, I think obviously everything has fans that think it's the greatest thing they ever saw. But
so you're saying I say nothing very well. I say something that has no controversy, and I've accomplished that.
Yes, I think you've nailed it. But I mean, I think, even Jon Stewart had his prime.
I used to love him.
But I think he outgrew his prime, or rather, growth is too generous a thing, but his ego outgrew his prime. Right.
And now, do you look at someone like me, a nice fella? You'd call me a nice fella, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And a very bright guy, a lot in the ball?
Sometimes I'd say that, yeah.
But when I was working for the Daily Show, and I look back now and go, why was I so upset? But it's absolutely understandable that you're going to be upset if the person who's producing the show keeps telling you, I don't know, not Stewart, the other guy. Ben Carlin, whatever his name is. I don't know. It just doesn't seem, how is what you're doing fitting in with what the recipe is that we have there? So what I'm saying is like,
I didn't know you worked for the Daily Show.
Oh, that's exactly. I was a correspondent for the Daily Show. It was a credit I used even after I hated using it.
Yeah.
I was TV guy on the Daily Show.
Oh, okay. I wasn't watching at that point. Apparently.
I'm not trying to get you to say, wow, I do remember it now.
I don't.
But I'm telling you, forget that part. But when I was fired from the show, basically, you live in L.A., Andy, and we live in New York. And so, our show's in New York. So you see how it's impossible to continue this relationship. And what I'm saying is that the reason why the relationship was bad was because they tried to, instead of saying, you're a funny kid, we like what you're doing.
Right.
And
they said, you're not a funny kid and we don't like what you're doing.
Exactly. Your job is to review TV shows and you're funny. We think you're funny. No, it was like we would do a take, or we would do a thing with Hank Gallo, whatever. He was my producer. And then they would show it and they would be questioning it. It was that fucking Ben Carlin guy. For years, I hated that Ben Carlin guy. But now I realize it was probably Jon Stewart was also part of the wishy-washiness. Because Jon Stewart was kind of like, never said, Andy, can you do this to it? Can you do that to it? He was basically like, I don't know. He was always keeping himself a little bit of a distance. So this was during when I don't want to say I had a prime in my life, but when in my early 90s to mid 90s, I made a little noise. Right. And so, I'm less hard on myself than I was at the time. I was very hard on myself. Why shouldn't I be able to thrive in this atmosphere?
Right.
And the truth is, you cannot thrive. You can, maybe you could, but it's understandable that I would be discouraged and unhappy with the job and unhappy with him, because I could start to, and that's when like people started talking about. After that, I found out about how he resisted the Writers Guild, and then it became like he's like a monster.
Yeah.
Many people thought he was like a monster to work for, which I don't think people saw. I assume he's an inch shorter than me because he has Napoleonic complex. And I don't think I do. I think my complex would be at any height.
Again, I think you have the Napoleonic complex, but it's the cream-filled pastry version.
And you know my joke about that, right?
What's that?
Before Napoleon, you know what they used to say about but you know what they used to call people like that?
An eclair?
No, they used to go, you see that little guy over there? He's fucking angry. That's before they had Napoleonic complex.
What's his deal?
Now, is Napoleon, I know you're going to say everyone knows this, it's named after Napoleon, right?
The pastry?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to go yes.
And what was it when he was killing people would present them with a cake?
I don't know exactly how it worked. I don't know the actual history.
I feel very bad that I know
think
literally.
It might be like his hat, like Haman for Hamantashen.
I literally know nothing. I used to fancy myself. I minored in history in college, and I used to, for years, after college, walk around and say, I minored in history, so I know something. It wasn't until I was 30 or 35 where I was able to say, first of all, not everybody went to college, so they don't want to hear you anymore go, what fucking college did you go to?
Right.
And you don't know anything about history because you were a minor in history, you stupid, overly Jewish, unattractive piece of garbage. That's how I would talk to myself.
Yeah. And you're getting better now?
I think I am. Except last weekend when I was, I couldn't finish that. Did I ever show you some of the jokes that I ended up doing that I knew were not funny?
You did.
Oh, I did it on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, where I said
he was going to get a famous comic, but instead he got me. And,
okay, you did the St. Patrick's Day?
What was the St. Patrick's Day?
Because this is literally the joke. And that I was wrestling with for 6 hours. There was no joke, but you were born on St. Patrick's Day. And today is St. Patrick's Day. That's all I have. And I was angry at myself for not being able
To find the pot of gold.
And I don't know if I told you this, because I don't think I could have told you this. During the thing where I sent the Cameo to Rob and I performed some of the things, I did the exact same thing that I was doing for hours the night before. It was great that it came up. So in case he thought I was lying about it, she wouldn't have been. In case he thought I was like had never done it. There were hours of takes where I would go, I was going to get a very famous comedian to do this, but then I thought, why don't I just get my unsuccessful brother Robert?
You said Robert?
I said Robert again on the thing that I was giving them. And I don't know if I told you that this joke I thought was pretty good. He goes, why don't I get my unsuccessful brother Robert? I never thought of myself as unsuccessful. That was just my brother's nickname for me as a kid. See, this would be okay for a Cameo for my brother.
Better for that. And what did he say when you got your Cameo?
He was happy.
That's good.
He was very happy. It was one of the best.
Happy he didn't have to show it to his friend.
Actually, it's funny because he goes, it's all over Facebook now. I think he was like joking with me.
Yeah.
But I don't really care. He really could put it anywhere. I really don't care now at this point.
Right. It's over. It's over.
It's just in other words, if anybody saw it, the one I made for him, it would be another delightful Cameo that I made that 30 seconds in you fucking wish would end.
Right.
If you weren't one of the two people.
Well, no, I got one from you, and I still wished it would end. That was one of the two people.
That was gerrymandered to make you hate it.
Well, it worked.
Hi.
Hated it.
Oh, no, this makes me upset. Now I hope that in the future, if someone contracts... Here's the thing. Don't contract me to make a Cameo for someone else, unless it's always going to be in joke mode, right? You're doing it to annoy someone else.
I like how it sounds like a disease. I contracted Cameo.
You look like you almost did a Dennis Miller face.
I did. That's why I said I contracted Cameo.
Now, what's happening in Dogland?
Duets and Dilly Dance. Have you ever been had in Dogland?
Now, I know that song.
That's the Dogland.
I didn't know the Steely Dan song you were doing, so I couldn't be supportive of it. I wasn't not supportive of it. I thought you'd gone crazy. Because usually it's like, reel it in the year. You're able to get to it with, reel it in the years. And there was no part of that song except, goes, back in Connecticut and early, something like that.
Ouch. Owie, 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 owie.
Also, a low point for me was when I was asked to do a song last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take the time. I also didn't want to sound bad. And so I'm right back where I was again.
So it was a low point, really?
No. It was a low point for me. It reminded me, it was like I have such a good relationship with my own music now. Other people aren't hearing it.
Yeah.
Right. But I have a good relationship. And then it was all of a sudden like, oh, okay, let's see your example of what you've done so far. My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty. I can no longer sing fun. I don't think I ever could sing funny.
Yeah.
I can no longer even do other stuff because I'm afraid that's what I'll do. Born, like Jim Nabors singing Bruce Springsteen. Born in the USA. That's not even funny. But when I would use my voice for comedy, it wasn't even that good. But now the real voice is me I would have sang probably 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. I hate that song. That's one of the worst.
I would walk 500 miles, yes, I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Is that Big Country?
No.
Oh, but it's a similar sound. In a big country.
Kind of, yeah. It's the Proclaimers.
Oh, and weren't they in a movie?
That song was on a movie. They weren't, I don't think.
What is the song? What is the movie that's like kind of about people like in a band?
The Commitments?
Yes, I've never seen that. How is that?
It's a fun little Irish romp.
How does it compare to a movie that I enjoyed the first time I saw it, which I know is a terrible movie?
Huh.
Eddie and the Cruisers. How does it compare to Eddie and the Cruisers?
It's better than Eddie and the Cruisers.
Okay. Was there ever a time when you said to yourself, I like that lead song of Eddie and the Cruisers? Sadly.
Out of the shadow, she walks like a dream. Make me feel crazy, make me feel so mean. Well, nothing's gonna save you from a love that's blind. Slip to the dark side across that line. On the dark side.
Yeah, well, didn't you? Okay, this movie I'm sure does hold up, but I don't know if I can watch it again. That was probably a bad movie. But then there was one, The Idolmaker, was pretty good.
I like The Idolmaker. That's the one.
Right.
That's the one I glommed onto on cable. Quite a bit.
What's that?
That's the one I glommed onto on cable.
I know that must have been shown all the time. Because I watched it all the time, and then I had trouble watching it after he was found out to have had AIDS and not told people he slept with when he had AIDS.
Yeah.
And he slept with women as well.
Yes.
Bad move. Ray Starkey.
Ray Sharkey.
Right?
Ray Sharkey.
Ray Starkey was Ringo Starr's first name.
No, it's not.
So let's go over other little movies like that and how they were. The Thing You Do, I don't remember seeing.
I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. That one's very
Hanks?
sticky to me when I see it on TV now.
Yeah, and that's a Tom Hanks joint, right?
That is, yes.
Here's a movie I liked when
I remember
first
hanging
saw
out
it.
with Paul Feig when he auditioned for that movie.
That's pretty good.
And then he got a secondary. He didn't get the role he auditioned for, but he got a role as a funny DJ that you would appreciate.
When I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, or for the first time, perhaps.
What are we talking about?
That thing you
I'm
do.
just going to use it once.
That thing you do.
Are we talking about
That thing
My
you
Fair
do.
Lady?
That thing you do.
Okay, guitar player?
That thing you do, which is forget stuff.
You know, I would just be happy going on for another 10 minutes with that.
I know.
That Thing You Don't? What's this one from, though? Okay, Words and Music is from Eddie and the Cruisers. Words and Music, which to me is still hilarious.
Yeah.
What was his secret? What was his secret? He's dying. Tell us. The reason why his songs were so great. Because he used words. And he also used mute.
Just outside of Rochester.
Was the actor in Eddie and the Cruisers so great that I loved him, or so he brought something? He got me into the role, or did I want to be Eddie?
You wanted to be Eddie. You wanted to be everything you projected onto Eddie. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so
played him.
The point was that Eddie. Why did he go? He went away because why? Because he was.
I don't remember. I do not.
He
remember,
had a bad
Eddie.
headspace.
I don't remember.
Okay, the other one that's great is the one with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, bad great is the one with I think it's Mark Wahlberg called Rockstar, or
where he becomes like the. It's like the not Judas Priest, but one of those heavy metal bands that
and Jennifer Aniston's in it.
Brought a fan on as their lead singer.
Yeah,
which Journey did it.
It's based on a true story, right?
Yeah, and then Journey did it. Too.
Which one? Which band?
I can't remember which.
Metallica, not Metallica.
No, it was like Iron Maiden or something like that.
The one with the guy has the one-handed drummer, one-armed drummer.
That was Def Leppard.
And it wasn't that good.
It wasn't that. No.
And we'll be back with Andy rattles around all kinds of. Oh.
Was it Thin Lizzy?
Was it?
Was it Nazareth?
But that one was so great.
Was it Rat?
Here's the one I liked. I liked this when I saw it in the movie theater with the men all bum 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 bum. You're a nasty guy. Come on. Where the naked guys are in the
what the fuck?
naked old man. The naked old man are singing.
Is this Full Monty you're talking about?
What's that?
Full Monty?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I love that in the movie.
Wow.
I love that in the movie theater. Like I was a small, like I was a hack. Not only was I was a hack, I loved it to death. Like all the way through, it got me. Does that movie hold up?
I don't know.
You never saw that one?
I do. I just saw it at the time and not since, and therefore I don't know if it holds up.
I believe in miracles. Because I don't want to cop to that I have a sentimental side, because I'm all about being a tough dude.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I do recommend something to you to see, which maybe you have seen it already. I saw Senior, and I enjoyed it very much. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yes,
Robert Downey
I
Sr.
did see that. Yes.
And I thought it was I liked it a lot. And I know what you're gonna say. No way you can have a discussion now. You're gonna say, but Andy, did you realize how much they got wrong? Like the scene where they had Roma Downey come in, who's married to who wants to be there is a Roma Downey, I think, married to the millionaire guy. Is it no Survivor guy?
Yeah, Mark Burnett,
David Chase.
As he casually glances at the clock to see if it's time yet.
You know what? That's bullshit. This is like this is like transparently trying to get 10 more minutes out of the fight.
Yeah.
Look, you fucking douchebag. Don't hang up on me now because I really don't want to go longer on Friday.
Yeah.
You told me it wasn't that hard to edit last week's show. I thought it would take you forever.
No, I just stopped caring, so it was easy.
Do you ever record something like someone sniveling? Like you record, I need some sniveling, and then you throw that in there with me?
Well, I have like Andy Snivel 3, Andy Snivel 9, Andy Snivel 17. I have a big menu.
Okay, here's Andy. He wants to say it, but it's just too intense. Yeah, so then my father, then my mom said, then I can't have candy. Oh, I'm crying. Oh.
I know, that's a number 11.
It would be so sad if you were using DJ carts, which I never even knew what they were. I need a cart.
Yes.
It's like a little 8-track tape, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yes.
With horrible quality, little thin, made out of Scotch tape, little tape that goes in and goes, boo. And you ever notice? No. When you would go into there were some guys who were still like doing it, you know, in that car. They still thought it was like a rocket ship.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is what they liked, is the pilot-like quality of their job.
And can you imagine being in a job where it is important to say
a bunch of Sully Sullenbergers all across the nation bringing us our news and crop reports.
At least if you're a guy, I don't want to go into men are like this or guys like that, but men generally do like to have the idea that they're operating some console. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because if you watched American Graffiti, that was the last time where it seemed cool. And it was only cool because he was pretending he wasn't Wolfman Jack in that movie. That's the only thing that made that whole scene cool. Because you're not Wolfman Jack.
So you're...
Have a popsicle. I don't know where the Wolfman is. And then as the lead, what's that lead's name? Richard Dreyfuss, as he leaves.
I don't know. I think Samuel Jackson's DJ and Do the Right Thing.
Oh, you think I'm confusing them? No.
No, I'm just saying there's other cool. You were saying the last cool DJ was in American Graffiti in 1972.
Do the Right Thing was great. And I have seen that movie 4 times, but it has been about 20 years. But no, that guy was great. He was like a
Greek chorus, sort of.
Yeah, but he didn't sound like Wolfman Jack watered down. That kind of DJ is gone now.
All right, we're done.
Come on, you got a little more time, right?
I definitely have more time for you.
Yeah, because you can't do just because of one time in the show I sound like a local news person. And that's the kind of cupcakes we like to see. That's not what it is.
I'm going to have electricity shot through my legs later today. So.
Oh, okay. So this is a follow-up?
This is this nerve and muscle test of some kind.
Oh, it's not to help you. It's just to see.
Well, hopefully it's a tool in helping me. Otherwise, it's really a dick move.
It's okay,
but it's not a therapeutic treatment. It's a diagnostic
treatment. It's not therapeutic.
Treatment. Yeah.
It's a testing thing.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I don't like that you had to do with this. I mean, I feel bad sometimes. I've had just the greatest life. My back, it always feels loose. I would think I would by now have had the worst back in show business because I lean in for the punchline,
Right.
and I had bad posture going into the business.
Right.
By all rights, it should be me who has the pain.
But you've kept a good job staying upright by brushing everybody off your coattails.
Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be nice to have coattails when you go in your deathbed? Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I'm just happy that I was able to give. Who's a bad comic?
You stayed out of the draft because you always closed the door behind you.
Do you feel like you didn't have as significant a life as me because you didn't have to deal with whether the man was going to send you to Vietnam and I did? So in a certain sense, I know what it's like to be in war, right?
Huh? Huh? What?
You don't know what it feels like to be 16 and that there could be a lottery in a couple of years.
I do know what it's like, although I was being overdramatic at the time. Because I was 18 during Desert Storm.
And you did it, right? You have to sign up?
Yeah, I had to do everyone has to do selective service, fill out the card.
They could have called you?
Well, no, they would have had to have instituted a draft.
Oh, I see. They were, but they were like, I got you. I got it totally. For a while, there was nothing that anybody had to do.
No, you always have to sign. If you're a man, you have to sign up at 18 for selective service.
Oh,
which is basically goes into a card file, so that if we ever institute a draft, here's everybody on the list.
I thought the Vietnam War stopped it.
That stopped the actual draft. It did not stop selective
I thought that they even
service.
stopped the registering, but I must have been wrong. Why would I even have the facts to know that? I do have my draft card. I did not burn my draft card because I thought this would be a nice item I could sell on eBay. But, you could say, either of us could say, here's the thing that's weird about life. Either of us could say, well, we dodged that bullet and we did this. But then tomorrow we could be in, the equivalent of Ukraine. We could be all of a sudden there. Don't you feel as American that you, even though you know you could die tomorrow, that you have had a certain, they're not coming over here thing?
What?
They're not coming over here. We don't have to worry about we're in the good old U.S. of A.
Yeah, I thought that until 9/11.
It makes the boom, 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 boom. It makes the boom, 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 boom. It makes the boom, 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 boom. It makes the boom, 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 boom. It makes the people.
What you gonna do? Do what Andy says. Let's make some who. I said people. Listen to what you now. Got no choice. But to make some who. Let's make some who. We'll make some who. We'll make some who. We'll make some who. Come on now. Come on now. We'll make some who. Come on now. Let's all. We'll make some who.
How's it going? I should be hot now. I'm off a show. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm coming in hot.
You're on Seder?
Cedar. I also, and by the way, a lot of times you say that I'm, hold on, let me look at myself in the mirror for a second. I look good. You say me I'm a narcissist and I don't, hold on a second. And you tell me I'm a narcissist and I don't ever plug our show. I plugged our show on Majority Report.
Fantastic.
Plugged it.
Fantastic.
So what the numbers are they driven up yet?
They are. I felt the spike happen.
My name is Spike.
That's right. That's right. You're Spike.
I'm Spike. Oh, I hope it doesn't get that bad, right? I was Spike. Rosebud was my...
Remember me? Spike?
Rosebud was my mother.
Hello?
Andy, you were just... A couple of people on that show called you Spike. No, Spike. It's a big thing. People knew about it. I feel like we have to... we can't argue today. We can't
Why
not
is
get
that?
along.
Why is that?
Because I hung up on you on early on the first session, and I think I cut us off.
And has that been bothering you all week? Because
No, I just know I got to bring it today. I got to bring it today,
absolutely.
baby.
No, I'm ready to argue and fight, frankly.
Oh no! I'm ready to read some questions, and I'm ready to get into it.
I forgot to even ask for questions until this morning. I've had a very chaotic week.
Oh, I think I asked for questions last
Good
night.
job. Good job. Way to pick up the slack.
Okay, so what's wrong? Tell us what's going on before we let's deal with it.
Just chaos. Just lots and lots of stuff.
You mean like stuff that doesn't involve me?
Entirely, yes.
Like projects?
I call it the good stuff.
Is it house? Is it the roof?
It's everything.
The roof is on fire?
It's house. It's veterinarian. It's doctor's appointments for myself, for the dogs, for everything. It's all sorts of shit going on.
Is there any sickness on the new doggy?
There's no sickness on the new doggy, no.
Okay. Very quiet. It's like people expect that they're going to join us and we're going to reveal all the wonderful goings-ons of our
We
week.
now join the party already in progress.
Why couldn't I be like Hugh Hefner? Like a guy who women thought. Well,
You're afraid
sexy,
you're
right?
afraid of women. First of all, that's your big hurdle.
Oh, just because I had sexual issues when I first started having. Oh, just because I had erectile dysfunction for 20 years, they call I'm the guy with the problem. Oh, I'm the guy. They used to call me Quick Draw McGraw. That makes me wrong. Quick Draw McGraw. You don't even know it.
I'll do the thing around here, Bubbaloo.
You know what's amazing is that I liked the hackiest sitcom cartoons as a kid. I didn't know the Warner Brothers stuff that well. I loved Huckleberry Schmeckle and Yogi.
Yeah.
And they're pretty. Maybe they hold up, but I doubt it.
Well, they hold up for children. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah, but I like when they play on both levels, like Ren and Stimpy, or
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy. Then he became a horrible guy, is what I heard.
Yeah.
John freaking Coolsey, Keon Freeze Coolsey.
Right.
You don't know it either, do you?
It's Christophe, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
you're damn right. You're damn right it is. I want to call a friend.
Yeah.
I like to phone a friend just because I'm having trouble with the game show. Why can we never have people like that back on? You need more humor on the game shows.
That sip you
I don't know
took
what I'm
was-
doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't either.
But now you seem to be in a good mood from all this. It doesn't seem like it's knocked you back on your heels. All of this, you seem to be.
I'm on solid.
coasting.
I'm on solid ground. Oh, don't get me wrong.
See, that seems like you're not on solid ground. Do you have a brother you can call who's wealthy or something?
No.
Sadly,
no.
Well, what do you do when you have the problems at the house? Who do you call? You don't have a brother?
No, I just cave in.
You do have a brother.
I cave in on myself.
Well, I'm out already, but I'm perfectly happy to banter more with you. I'll banter till the sun goes down with you.
That's fantastic. Thank you. It's just nice to know it's there.
You know what? After all these years of bad attitudes,
Yeah.
I want to tell you, buddy, I'm here for you, buddy.
Uh-huh.
You know what I love when people I see you, that kind of thing. I still think that's cool.
They point to their eyes. They point
Yes.
to that. I'm just trying to narrate.
I do this one a lot. Right on the nose. Right on the nose, I say to people.
Uh-huh.
Here's what it is. I see you as an older brother, even though you're not my older brother.
Right.
Right? So
So stop asking me for money, okay?
But you are my older brother. In effect, you're the more mature one in the relationship, and I'm constantly trying to get your approval because you're the older brother. But then you're 40 years younger than me.
Right.
This is the what's it called when things have a paradox?
I'm topping from the bottom.
Hey, happy Second Iraq War Day or something like. This is the anniversary of us going into the war.
Is this the anniversary of shock or awe?
Wait, shock was. Oh no, you're talking about the same thing, right?
Yes. I am.
Shock and awe was 2003, and the 1991 was Desert Storm. Desert Storm, Desert Shield
Became Desert Storm. Yes.
Right. And those days, that's when we had a government. You had that guy Rumsfeld. That's when you had the government of people like Alexander Haig.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say except my sarcastic
Dick Cheney
tone?
was a cabinet member where he could do some
Cheney.
good.
God, you really can do no wrong by going back to George W. Bush and focusing more anger at him, because he carried his father's legacy of horrible advisors and shifty people into the 2000s.
Yes.
He had the same group, right? Cheney,
Pretty much.
Rumsfeld,
Yeah.
because he was not a curious person, George. And, you're going to need to face this.
Well,
Josh.
Rumsfeld goes back to the Ford administration.
Does he really?
Yes.
Isn't he the guy who was he the one in charge? No, Alexander Hay was in charge when Reagan got killed. He decided.
Well, he declared himself in charge.
He was in
yes.
charge. I'm in charge. And we felt good then? How come we weren't worried then? Come on, today's a big day. You have George W. Bush in Waco today. I mean, not for when the folks.
Isn't that Trump? Isn't it Trump going to Waco?
What did I say?
George W. Bush.
Okay, that was wrong. He goes to Waco just because he lives near there. He doesn't live in Texas still, does he?
I think he does.
George W.?
I think he do. I think he do.
College Station? Or something like that?
I don't know.
So who was I talking about that I wanted to talk about? Who was the
Trump going to Waco? I think is what.
Yeah, and he's going on the anniversary. Oh, maybe that's the anniversary. It's the anniversary of the Waco thing today.
Yeah, I think so. Or this week,
the
or
Branch
this weekend,
Davidian.
I think. Yeah.
And this is the thing that people don't know about you, that you actually early on you liked what David Koresh was saying because he brought the Judaism in.
Sure.
He was a great musician.
Uh-huh.
He was handsome.
Uh-huh. Yes, and
Can you imagine that David Koresh? He must have thought for a couple of days, he's got it all going on over there, right?
I think
People think I'm the Messiah.
At least a couple of days, yeah, going.
Yeah, and we have them in the palm of their hands because the FBI is run well. Janet Reno's doing a great job. So we know on our end, we don't have to make any mistakes. That was a debacle.
It was a debacle, yes.
Not that I'm sympathetic with David Koresh, before, early on when he was just basically...
You like his early
Messiah.
stuff. You liked his early
Well, he was
stuff.
the Messiah.
Sure.
See, here's the thing about David Koresh. I look at him, right? And here's what I seriously say. That guy's better looking than me.
Uh-huh.
His songs are probably better than me. Why?
Probably.
Why does he have to go?
Or at least a
Why?
better singer. Better
Better
song.
singer. I look at him, and even I look at Charles Manson, I go, that's not a terrible song. These are not terrible
He had
songs.
a vibe. He had a vibe, for sure.
Do you know that Neil Young jammed with
Yes.
Charles Manson? Did I tell you this already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You should be able to, there should be a way to euthanize me when I start going into an old thing. Not euthanize me completely, but just like a jab or something.
Well, I have editing for that.
Everyone loved our 300th show. I mean, people love us.
It was a celebration throughout the land.
You are the most. When am I going to start a show and go, you know what, people, let's not, Josh is feeling very happy, but he's afraid to communicate his happiness.
No, I really have very low enthusiasm for life this week in general, I would say.
Oh, that's cool, because the thing is...
Not for living, necessarily. This isn't a cry for help, but it's there's a lot of just sort of frustration in my...
Yeah. Well, don't go on Twitter then and see the anti-trans people. I got people were telling me that I take Adderall, I'm a drug addict. And I started to get involved with something. Some of these people are like writers for big magazines, but they're terrible magazines, but they're just like mocking everyone. It's just not me, just mocking everyone who takes Adderall and then they're also trans. They're weird trans. I mean, it's like everything is going off the shelf in terms of like it's getting worse and worse and worse if you stay in that climate.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't exist outside of Elon Musk's Twitter. Maybe
I really have spent very little time on Twitter the last few weeks.
I became a blue check.
I was just looking back and going about one tweet a day the last few weeks.
First of all, if you tweet something funny now, if it's the funniest thing that you've ever come up with, I'm being sarcastic, but you'll get 50 likes. Nobody cares about your great joke.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
It's not an area for subtlety anymore.
There's no more dopamine to be had on the site.
No, it really is. It's gone. And I don't know where to go or if I should go.
I don't think you should go. I can't find it anywhere else. I can't find the...
Right. So we're going to switch to Instagram? Is that what we're going to do? I mean, this can't go on like this where you have Dennis Prager.
I think it'll go on just like this for, I might post.
why did
I
you
might post a joke a day for forever. Who knows?
Yeah, but why did you subscribe to Twitter Blue? This is what I don't understand. You tell me you want to.
I need the check. I need my blue check. I need it. I need it. It's all I have.
Do you know if you click on your blue check, do you have a blue check?
I do have a blue check.
It'll say
I'm losing it in a week, thankfully.
What do you mean?
They're all gone.
Is that? Oh, it's going to be a special day where it's gone.
Your legacy check is on the way out.
If you go there now, it goes, "This is a legacy check. It may or may not be somebody who should have gotten one."
Right.
What is the matter with this guy?
I know. It's just the contempt, the full contempt for everybody who made it a good place.
Now, if he bundles it with Audible.com, which I'm interested in, Audible.com, Twitter Blue, $17 a month. Sign me up. What a terrible, terrible thing. Everyone has the same thing. Going to have the same thing. We're all verified. And verified means you've paid your monthly bill.
That's what it will mean now going forward.
Oh, also the ability. I don't know if you know. Did you know that you lose your ability? I should have told you this earlier, to archive our horrible Twitter.
Yeah.
You don't want to. That's one of the things you get as part of the Twitter Blue is you can archive. If you don't, you can't do it.
Is that true?
If you don't have, you can't do it.
Wow.
Try to make a copy now. They go, no. If you'd like to pay, how much does it cost? $20 a month? $15 a month?
I didn't even look into it. I think it's $8 a month or something. That's what he was barking.
$8.
Well, we have each other and we have our families.
Right. And I can verify. If someone comes to me looking to verify you, I will verify you to them.
True. And Instagram, the thing that's fun about Instagram is I don't know. They go, do you want it to be a story or do you want it to be a post? I don't know. They're all such fun things to do. Do I want to send an email with a photo of myself to 700 people that they're going to get into their email box on Instagram? Or do I want to send a picture of myself going, look at me, I'm a funny guy. I can't compete, but I'd like to find my own niche there.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, forget it. But you know what?
I scroll through there and there's nothing inside.
Yeah, but
I feel
you
nothing.
and I are both off Facebook, which probably is the greatest thing in the world. I mean, people are still on Facebook.
My wife is still on Facebook.
Well, your wife is someone who used it and probably has enjoyed it all these years.
She actually has, yeah. Which I
right.
which I roll my eyes and marvel at.
At first, I thought it was great when all your friends from high school would contact you, and then it wasn't so good anymore.
Right.
When everybody from high school.
There's a reason why I took 25 sick days a year from high school.
Is that what you did? Were you touring? Is that why?
No, I just fucking hated going.
And did your parents knew that?
Kind of. I mean, there was a lot of, fake illness involved.
Okay. Josh, how are you feeling today? You okay? What's wrong, buddy?
Oh, God.
Is it your throat?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you think you can go to school or you think you just stay home?
I think I really think
you got a stuffed nose.
I have a test, but I think I should stay home.
That wouldn't have flown in my house. My parents
both worked. So it was, if you could get past about 8 a.m., you were on your own,
But wait, weren't you dealing with the truancy people at your school?
No. It was usually a blend. It was usually like I would be sick for a day or two, and then I'd take a day or two for me. But
do you know that I never...
this is how much I hate routine. It goes all the way back to school.
Oh, but I think I hated it more because I think...
I hate it more.
When I went to school...
Yeah, I went to school.
It was even worse than when you went to school.
How do you know?
Because I think generationally, schools were... Well, first of all, I'm a big public school fan. I went to public schools, even though I didn't enjoy them. I believe in public school education. But back then, in the 50s and early 60s, it was run more like an army thing. Yeah. Duck and cover, get in line by size places.
Well, that's where the scar happened.
It's not even like, did you get scarred by that? How could you not get scarred?
Right.
Whoa. Andy, you're fucking 2 inches shorter than that girl. Sized places.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Why did they do that? I know. Now I'm trying to rethink it. What could they have done differently? Not done it. Just not done it that way.
Yeah. It was usually alphabetically with us, I think.
Well, how about like the kids in the gifted class will be, we'll start with the kids in the gifted class. You've been so busy. Is it people wanting you? That's not your work line, is it?
No, that one,
I used to have
that one goes fallow still.
I used to have an answering machine in Queens when I would stay with my folks in Queens through the 80s into the early 90s. I would have an answering machine hooked up in my not my old bedroom, my sister's old bedroom.
Yeah.
And then, because I was back then, I was New York, LA, you want me as a local hire in New York? Boom.
Sure.
So, put that in your. All right, let's go to the question.
You've reached Andy Kindler's East Coast office.
That's the thing. Back then, I needed to compete with people who would be local hires. What a great career. Yeah. Would you say that can you stay with your mother, Andy, and your father during the shoot? Because I think then you have a leg over the other guy.
Right. All right. Let's go to our thing. We don't have a lot because I asked very late, I think.
Oh, do you want to keep talking?
No, I don't.
Josh.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickles on 2/24/23. By the way, congratulations, Pickles, for getting back first. What's not going on in your life that you could remember to be the first question? I'm trying to get your attitude of being like put people down.
That's not what I do, though.
Oh, that's not what you do?
No, I put you down. I put you down.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Pickles, you ass. Pickles, you idiot.
I put you down so I don't have to put down others, is my...
True.
That's the service you're providing me.
Pickle says, I started watching that Oscar-nominated movie, Everything at the Same Time, all the time, and could not make heads or tails of it for the life of me. Pickles, don't feel alone. I mean, it is lonely that your only claim to fame is being the first question read. That's not true, Pickles. I still think I'm picking up on what I thought Josh's on-air persona was.
Yeah,
but I like that movie. I like that movie.
You're mean all the time, Andy. This is different. That's why we're different. You're mean everywhere. I have this space.
Someone's going to hear that and they're going to think I'm really mean, you fucking scumbag. Your free trial of Jason Parton. What McDonald's mascot character terrifies you most? I don't know any of them. So I would say the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Is that a guy?
It is, yeah.
You're more familiar with the McDonald's lore.
I actually found the Fry Guys to be the creepiest of all of them, really.
Did your parents take you to the Playland? Are you that young?
I'm not young enough for the Playland. But
you went to the McDonald's Playland?
We did have McDonald's.
No, but I mean, did you go as a kid? Go play the Playland?
No, I'm saying we did. I was there before Playlands existed as a kid.
Oh, before? Oh, so you're not as young as you advertise. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm obsessed now with how close to death I am. It really bothers me.
No.
You're not 66.
Me, not so much.
Right. You're like in the, where are you like?
No, I mean
50s
you. I mean you being close.
Oh,
to that,
right.
yeah.
I got you.
Right.
Mozart says, fun fact, a lot of people don't know that Colonel Angus was also a master debater. Now, is the joke here to get me to say masturbator?
No, I made a Colonel Angus reference last week.
I remembered you made a Colonel Angus reference.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was Stuart Angus. His name was Angus.
Right.
Was his claim.
And then Colonel Angus sounds like Cunnilingus is really the funny part there.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why Master Debater tagged along with it.
And first of all, Mozart. Do you call it Mozart?
I call it Mozart.
Mozart. Oh, that's right. Like the musician. Dan Marsh says, hey guys, in a previous episode you talked about how Louis Anderson had a much meaner sense of humor in person than he revealed on stage. Does that hold true for every clean comedian in your experience? Well, first of all, I don't really see Louis as someone who was radically different on stage. He was kind of himself, wasn't he? A little bit.
No, he was way meaner off stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's true.
He was. I mean, I used to play poker with him and stuff, and especially when he was with the other old Minneapolis guys who didn't make it like him, he would just fucking rub it in their face. Really fucking fuck with them. But no, I mean, Louis was hilarious in his meanness. I mean, he was capable of being hilarious other ways as well.
Right.
But that is the, much like myself with you.
Yeah.
He kept that for a separate thing, you know. Like I traveled with him, and he was like unbelievably gracious to people in airports, and you know.
Right.
You know, he knew where his bread was buttered, and it was very much in a sort of family place. But he wasn't like he wasn't pridefully a clean comic.
No, he didn't. Yeah, and also he's not exactly like. I guess it is a little like Leno. Leno hiding his personality outside of his act, because he's supposed to be the same, exactly like Louis Anderson, like vicious. I mean, not I don't know exactly like Louis Anderson, but Jay was famous for like being mean about other comics and saying, "What's this guy doing?" Yeah,
sure.
And he never wanted people to see that.
Right.
Whereas I think Louis,
which is good business, really, in both their parts.
Right, but I think Louis was, you know, Louis was more in touch with his voice on stage. But I would have liked to have sampled some of that meanness.
Well, but I mean, Louis' comedy was way more personal than Jay's ever was.
Right.
Like nothing. There's nothing first person about Jay's act.
No, there isn't. It's just, unless you think of like he captures that cornered the market on not even these type of jokes, but like when he was funny and we go, McDonald's has a hiring senior citizens now as part of their cradle to the grave minimum wage program. You know, he was capable of saying funny things, but he never had the edge that he had in real life. They said.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is without criticism. This is going. Jay was a great comic at one point, but it was always completely third person.
No, he really was. He was the best at what he did in a way, because he could really bring you in, and the level of, now I don't know if it would hold up again, only because he's been around so long and you couldn't hear it new. But he was the best when he was on Letterman. Actually,
yeah,
he was great on Letterman. Because he adopted Dave's kind of, his sarcasm was at a higher level than normally. God, I hate myself. All right. Sue Vide says, would you trade your life for Bruce Willis's, knowing you'd be a wealthy worldwide movie star for 30 plus years, but have dementia before age 70? I suppose we know Andy's answer to this not so hypothetical to him question. Is this, why don't you just stab me in the heart with a penknife?
Fun, Sue Vide. Fun. I wouldn't trade my life for Bruce Willis's even without the dementia before 70.
Right, which is what we call in the business piling. You're already piling on a guy who's sick.
Yes.
But
and then also Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
I don't. It's you is what I was talking about.
Nobody. If you're like me, and there aren't many people like me, of course I worry about dementia every day. And I don't think of course you're being sarcastic, because nobody would ever take that trade, take an actual trade where you couldn't, yes, give me early dementia now, because I had such a great career. There's no great career that will save you wanting to have dementia. And also, my fear of dementia.
Well, Ricky Gervais, maybe.
What's that? That wouldn't be so bad. Should I keep going, or are you enjoying yourself?
Sure, I'll coast. I'm happy.
All right. Seth Dick III says, Mindy Kaling received an award at the White House this week. Weech? Can't be right. What's the highest recognition you've ever received for being the biggest fish in a small pond? That just question gets my mind all crazy, because all I'm thinking is, what kind of, did Mindy Kaling also get the Mark Twain a prize for humor?
No, she got a different thing.
Are you going to watch that this weekend?
No.
That looks terrible to me. It's like, look, I have made up with Judd. I've apologized to Judd. I don't really get the Adam Sandler thing. I mean, it looks terrible. I mean, it looks like something you wouldn't want to watch.
Well, it looks like something you wouldn't want to watch for sure.
And I know Judd listens to the show, so Judd, don't take it. Could you imagine? That would be someone who was, if I was really a narcissist, if I really thought that Judd might listen to the show.
No.
Yeah. I think he's busier than that.
I think he is. I hope so.
Yeah. BD West says there's no such thing
well,
as bad.
I want to answer the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And start taking over on the questions because I feel like I'm a dictator in my head.
Not just in your head. The highest recognition I ever received for Biggest Fish in a Small Pond, I would say, is probably the Melvin Douglas Best Festival Award for my movie at the Macon Film Festival.
That's cool. Great. And he was a great actor, right?
He was from Macon, Georgia. That's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. That's really good. That one is much better than when I got Comedian of the Year for Fresno, from the Fresno Food Festival.
It is better.
It is better.
Because I got a trophy.
Hey, that's the thing that drives me crazy, Josh. The kids today, they show up, they get a trophy. They just go to school, they get a free lunch, and then a trophy. Unbelievable. It's fucked up.
BDOS says there's no such thing as bad weather, only unsuitable clothing, said Alfred Wainwright in a coast-to-coast walk. Andy, I hope you're not letting a little rain slow you down. Josh, how's the roof holding up?
Well, I love rain. I love it, and I haven't had any leaks. So to me, it could rain every day, and even if it was flooding, it wouldn't bother me until my specific house was
right, which won't happen because you have a whole house on top of yours. You froze.
You have frozen.
You froze.
No, you. This is. How do you know who freezes when you both accuse the other person of freezing?
You froze.
Just comedically.
Yes.
Johnny Whoops.
My roof is holding up mostly. There's still a couple of water-based issues, but.
And what is that? They just have to go back and apply more stickum?
Yeah, just more stickum. Yeah.
Why is it that? Why? I'm from the East Coast. I grew up. I don't remember everybody saying, we can't go to the party because the Bobby's roof is leaking." There's no leaks on the East Coast. Zero leaks on the East Coast roofs.
They're as watertight as your theory.
Johnny Whoop says, "What's your quote for watching and discussing Kevin James' entire acting IMDb listing over a 40-hour week? I guess a 12 to 18-month project." I don't even know what I asked there. Do you?
You don't even know.
What was that question?
Well, it says, "What's your quote?" Meaning, what will we charge?
Oh, if he does it as a member of the Thought Spiral staff?
No, I think he's asking what we would charge to do that project.
I would pay somebody money to do that.
Huh?
Don't you think?
No, they're asking, what's your quote?
"I won't do very well at your event, but you must pay me." That used to be my joke. I would say, pay you know what I'm saying? That's a joy. Many people would see a joy to watch Kevin James. Because he's had a lot of different characters. It's not just the one guy. It's also the mall cop. And it's also, he's also the King of Queens. That's the other thing he does.
Right.
Yeah. It's good.
So you'd have to watch all the King of Queens, and you'd have to watch Kevin Blart Mall Cop.
Right. Then he also does the thing where he does magic too, right? Oh, God, he's terrible. David Weiss says, "Andrew, I have a thing. Why is it that you and Joshua don't open the show with the Shema? Shema Yisrael. I don't know." I'm already flat. Shema. Yes. Come, sing it. Get a key for me going. Shema Yisrael. Oh, I forgot it. What's after Shema Yisrael? Adonai Echad?
No. Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai. Give me a key. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Hero Israel. The Lord our God is one. That's what they said at the Reform Temple.
Huh?
God, we're all sickened from that. Christopher Citru says, "Fishing my fried rice. I set aside the chopsticks, crack open my fortune cookie, and this falls out. A real patriot is the fellow who gets a parking ticket and rejoices that the system works. Gents, how do you process disappointment? I knew they weren't fortunes anymore, but I didn't know they were like capitalist like sentiments that you should say to yourself. Dan Marsh says
it's more like a Fortune 500 cookie.
Well, you're doing nothing today. I'm doing the whole fucking show. It's unbelievable.
It's about fucking time, is what I say. I do the first 300. You can do the second 300.
We're filling up time just by being annoying to each other. Andy, over 6 years of therapy, how has your internal voice changed? Does your therapist specifically work on getting you to be kinder to yourself, or is that a natural byproduct of tackling other issues? I think it's a natural byproduct of tackling the other issues because that seems to be the center part of my problem is understanding that these things are not really happening. Everybody's not, when you get into that paranoid thing, that everybody I went blank again. What was I trying to say, do you think?
You were saying that one of the byproduct is that you're learning that the voices in your head are
nicer. Oh, yeah.
Well, they're not. It's not a reliable narrator.
Exactly. What you want to try and do is get some kind of voice that's like a, the voice you want to let God. If you want to let God into your life, I'm trying to, and that's my goal. You want to replace that voice with a
God?
booming God voice. Josh, hello, Josh.
You are going to hell.
What's that voice?
B.D. West asks, Andy, why haven't you been hiking with Kevin Nealon? Is it the height thing?
Does he do that? I bet he does that on the Palisades or something. Where does he walk?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you knew.
I don't. I know he has some sort of. I think he has like a podcast, hiking with Kevin.
Oh yes, but don't get me wrong. I walk a walker. I'm an avid walker. Richard Cole says, "Hey Spike, I like play full albums. How could Richard Cole think I'm going to be able to talk in this kind of syntax or whatever it is? Hey Spike, I like play full albums on my MP3 player when I go walking early in the morning, except Monday morning when I listen to you and Josh. What time of day do you exercise? What are you listening to? Hi Josh, how's your back? Well, I walk normally." It's funny I said it that way. In the late afternoon. But I'm sometimes walk in the morning. And I almost always listen to either books on tape and sometimes I listen to music. Because now I have Apple One and, music. I want to have, you're a big girl now, boom, put it in there, bang. How's your back?
My back is stalled out. I had an excruciating nerve and muscle test on Monday, where the doctor was talking about the comedy career he wished he had had. That was the excruciating part.
Are you serious?
And then there was a bunch of needles and shit that went into my legs, and needles and electric shocks.
But is he funny?
No.
But why did he wish that he'd gone into it if he's not funny? I don't understand what people mean when they go. That's
kind of what that's the thing you don't want to say.
No, because he has your life in your hands.
Because what you go, well, you could have, but then you would have been on the road and you would have hated your life by the time you were 30.
Right, you would have, and you would have had no money. As opposed to being
a very high-paid doctor in the Cedars-Sinai system. Is what I said, literally.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Did he laugh at that?
He did, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, that's good. After ruining your back, why wouldn't he laugh?
And he, of course, name-dropped other comedians he's worked with. And
give me a couple.
No, I'm not gonna do what. I'm not gonna be the.
This doctor sounds like me. Are you sure you didn't go to me?
And he was like, because he said the name. I was like, oh, did you work on him when he blah blah blah? Oh, I can't say.
What a drip.
Yeah.
Not really. I know you doctors are
but I think he's a good doctor. But we'll see.
Why did I say dentist?
But I did find out I don't actually have nerve or muscle damage from all this. I do. He believes I have a scarred nerve, which is why it's taking.
Oh, and then, okay, so that should lessen as time goes on?
Presumably, yes.
And would he ever go in and remove the scar tissue? That sounds wrong.
No, you can't do that. But
No, because it scars it further.
Yeah. And it's not actually, it's not scar tissue. He distinguished between it being scar tissue and scarring for some reason.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That made me laugh. The idea that I would know what he was talking. Oh, I know what he's referring to. He's referring to ectoplasm. And the last question.
But he thinks he has a better medication for me, which is good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it something I would like?
I don't care. I'm never.
Well, you give me some.
You'll never get near it.
Can I have some Darvon? Do you have any Darvon over there?
I do not.
And finally, well, I'm glad to hear that that's working. And finally,
Well,
not just on this platform.
What's working? I said there's nothing. I said there's
the
nothing.
new medication.
I said. No,
you said the new medication is working great.
No, I did not say that, and I'm not even on the new medication.
You said things are going to be looking up medication-wise.
God,
no, you said
the only thing I hate worse about talking about my thing is having someone not fucking listen to me. That's the only thing that's worse than having these problems.
So he's hoping the new medication will help. He has no idea.
Well, he was questioning the one I was on and saying you should come see me and we'll talk about a different medication.
Okay, well then he has a good point. Walt Norda says, what is your preferred way of having Diet Coke? Fountain, can, bottle. I tend to get cans because I recycle them. And I also sometimes I enjoy putting them in a glass of ice. That's my preferred way.
Yeah. I don't enjoy Diet Coke very much.
You don't like?
I do not drink very much Diet Coke at all. If I do,
what do you drink when you drink the diet soda?
I don't drink diet soda.
Oh, well then you're off the thing. You don't have anything to worry about.
Thank you.
You don't drink sugary drinks, and you don't drink as substitutes for them.
Correct.
I love the Diet Coke. If I'm going to have,
I drink sparkling water, plain.
Boo, boo. Why don't you get one of that? Do you have one of those Jewish things with the seltzer?
Nope.
Israeli seltzer machines? Oh, that looks so terrible. Oh, he's doing that lacrosse. Yeah. To me, that's giving up.
Plain blue LaCroix, baby.
Why?
And they call it LaCroix. It is LaCroix, not LaCroix, as one.
I know that. I know that because I heard...
Me. Probably.
No, I think I heard Seth Rogen say it. But I understand. Why don't you just drink regular water? Because the carbonation you like.
Well, yeah.
What do you like about carbonated? It sounds like seltzer water. It sounds terrible.
It is seltzer water.
Boo. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that crap. I can't drink regular sodas. And if you're trying to tell me for the rest of my life that I'm only going to have a LaCroix,
I'm not trying to tell you anything.
I gave
up on that hundreds of shows ago.
I say good day to you, sir.
Good day, sir.
We're going to Instagram now?
I guess we are, but there won't be much there.
Oh, because you started it a second ago.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing there. Name 3 comics under 35 who aren't hacks. Is that all there is there?
No, there's others. But we can start with that one since you read it already.
Name 3 comics under 35 who aren't hacks. There's a lot of great comics. This is a premise I can't go with. I've heard a lot of funny people under many ages.
Yeah, but you can't name any of them.
I don't know any comics now. I'm out of the loop.
I don't either. I can't name 3 comics under 35 who are hacks.
Yeah, and if I named 2 people I thought were young, it would be like Josh's age.
Right. That's sad, isn't it? PB Adams says, hey, fuckface. Hey, dipshit. Happy 301. First one-liner that comes into your head.
I like it. I like that you went for it. Oh, what, he wants us to do it?
And what's the first one-liner that comes into your head?
When what?
Ouch.
When what?
When asked.
What am I, a fucking joke machine?
Clearly not.
You answer it. You're so great. I don't know why I can't see all the questions here.
I don't either.
It's ridiculous.
Dan Murphy says on last week's show, Andy was talking about Steven Spielberg. I hear people talking about how great the movie Duel was. Can you guys give your opinion? I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in the mid-'70s and feel just as strongly now. Whiny Dennis Weaver being chased by a semi-truck.
I think Steven Spielberg is capable of Shrek, but I have enjoyed some of his movies, so it's like I would never see that movie Duel It sounds terrible, but you've seen it, and you could tell us what it was like.
I have seen it. I tend to agree with Dan Murphy largely on this one. It's there was what it was a really well shot. Like I think he told that story as well as that story could be told. It was just a dumb fucking story.
What is it? A true story?
No.
Oh. Is it about a duel? Is it like Ishtar without a duel? Ishtar for duels?
Why do you think you're helping is the thing. that's...
I'm not helping you. It's helping me get through it.
Okay. Chris Sharp 3000 says, when I was 5, I had a go-to joke. Either of you have one of them? P.S. A guy walks into an antique store and says, what's new?
I used to like...
That's my one-liner for the previous question.
Oh, okay. I don't know how you tie these things together. You answered this because I'm very busy forgetting the question.
No, I'm not having fun anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is this. I think that people go, you know what? That guy is fun to listen to, even when he hates being here, even when he's had a terrible week, and he won't pick up on any of Andy's leads. He brings a certain something to the show.
Foodie Giuliani says, just as I settle on a Graham handle after many name changes, Josh accidentally stumbles upon an exquisite gem by the way of Sarah Fuckabee Sanders. I just about fell out of my chair when I heard it. It's just too good. Yet again, I may have to commandeer a new handle now. What would you recommend? Stick with Foodie or change it?
I love Foodie Giuliani. Is very good.
Or change it to Sarah Fuckabee. I think Foodie Giuliani beats Sarah Fuckabee, even though.
Well, I think it's only because you're going to get people
with it somehow.
Some people are going to be put off by the other one.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, you know. And Foodie Giuliani is just so good. Nothing's better than tweet Bahara, though, and not tweet Bahara.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
It's true. I don't know how I died inside.
You're dying.
I don't know
Something
how
happened.
I died inside.
Like in between questions, too.
I think it might have been that test. That test on Monday killed. My nerves
Is
are
it
alive.
painful all the way through?
Huh? It was really. It was super unpleasant. Yeah.
But why? Don't you say stop? I get the point. It had the operation didn't work. Isn't that what you feel like saying?
No. Different doctor, first of all.
Oh.
But no. I mean, I did kind of want to know what was going on with the nerves.
Yeah. I think it's
but
more
it was really unpleasant.
What's the point of it? Is it as bad as the thing that I had in my penis? It's not that bad.
Well, they stuck a needle into my leg muscles and made me flex them around the needle.
Are these people doctors? Or, I mean, have you checked to make sure there's a license involved?
I think it was pronounced Mengele.
What's that?
Dr. Mengele, I think it was how I didn't.
Mengele?
It's a Mengele joke.
I know. I think it's Mengele.
Yeah.
It depends on what part of Slavia.
There's nothing's connecting.
I can't tell you those jokes. I can't tell. How would I know?
It's connecting.
I'm usually helpful.
It's like we never did a show together even today.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People revel on that. They're tired of here's funny banter and interesting observations.
If you'd like to support us rebuilding this fucking crumbled mess of a show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral.
That's right. And you know, a lot of people
put some seed money in for this rebuild.
Yeah, and also people say like, well, the early shows, you guys were, it was cringy. You loved it when we hated each other. And that's what we plan to start again in the next 300 shows. Horrible, unpleasant fights.
I'm fuckface. He's dipshit. Good night.
He used words. And he also used mute.